Do you hear it? That fiery strumming of the flamenco guitar, the raspy, melodic voice of the gypsy singer. Do you see it? The dancer as she enters the stage with the air of command, sensuality, and the explosive frenzy of energy. Do you feel it? That rapid pounding of her feet work, the trilling sound of the castanets. The sound, the sight, the intensity of the flamenco dance. You know, there was a time where I thought I'd be traveling around the world, dancing with the gypsies, having them surrounding me, clapping, shouting, those words of encouragement. But you know what? God had a different plan for me. The purpose of tonight's speech is to show that although I'm not a traveling flamenco dancer as I had dreamt of being at one time, but that I'm still a dancer. I just dance to a different tune. As most of you know, I'm a second grade teacher. And you wouldn't think that dancing would have anything to do with my job. But surprisingly enough, the many techniques that I learned as a flamenco dancer, I'm able to incorporate as part of my teaching tools. As a young flamenco dancer, I learned that the dancer's the one in charge. She's the one that leads, not the guitarist. That's why, as you see the dancer enter the stage, she has that command that says, "Here I am." Well, that's what I do. As my students enter the classroom, I look them in the eye and I say, "Good morning, Joshua. How are you doing? I'm so glad you're here and you're ready to learn." At the beginning of the school year, you know, they do give me that look like, I'm not even sure if I really want to be here. But I can tell you that by November, December, when they come in and I say, "Good morning, Joshua," matter of fact, they finish the sentence for me. "Hi, Mrs. Verdugo. I'm here and I'm ready to learn." As a teacher, it's not always easy to keep the students' attention. And I learned early on in my career that movement was essential to keeping them awake. So using the hand and arm motions that I learned as a flamenco dancer, I make sure that as I walk back and forth or around the aisles, that I'm using my arms, my hands. I sweep as I talk. I point as I'm making a point. And of course, when I see that wayward kid that kind of looks like he's ready to fall asleep, I clap. And when I get one of those days, you know, when you just go, "This is a challenge," I lift my arms up and I ask for divine intervention. Along with the movement comes the variation of the voice. Like the flamenco dancer who slowly pulls her audience into her zone, tantalizing them with the arm movements that move with fluidity, and that effortless spin that she does, only before you know it, stamping with her feet work, and then abruptly stopping with such precision. Well, I too must create those variations. As I begin my lesson, I speak softly, pulling them in, because they have to be able to listen to me. Then, gradually, I kind of raise my voice a little bit, just letting them know how important it is what I have to say. And then before they know it, I begin talking just a little bit faster because now I've engaged them in conversation. And of course, I don't let them go too far because if I'm not careful, they begin telling me what they ate last night for dinner. I pull them in and make sure they're back in my zone. Well, the comparison between flamenco dancing and teaching doesn't stop there. There's also the words of encouragement. Fellow dancers shout out to the dancer. And This is the part that I love most when I see flamenco dancing, because all of a sudden, you notice that the dancers' feet work began going faster. The movements get sharper, and the dancers get this gleam in their eye. Well, it's no different with teaching. When I give those words of encouragement to my students, oh my gosh, they walk straighter. They get this smile on their face, and then they get this gleam in their eye. And you know what that tells me? Oh my gosh, they understand what I just taught them. And when I see that look in their eye, I say, Ole!